Now I'm live. I just went off on this rant. People wouldn't Nyaki Janet Pratt. Uh Halito Sio Madiwaka Ansti Hunterish. Kunumante. And of course I got a Stongo at the sky. Yacha. Coming live, finally coming live from 1950 South Shepherd here in El Reno, Oklahoma. Glad everybody could tune in. Sorry we're running late. We're running late today. They had a meeting. They had to go do some Narcan things. But I have a special guest with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Shane Williman, and get to spend a beautiful morning with one of the most special people in my life. So glad to be here this morning.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I I have a lot of gratitude towards this man. The Creator worked through him to help me find freedom. And for that, I'm very, very thankful for his life. I'm very, very thankful for his, his knowledge and just the things that he was able to pass along to me, by working the 12 steps of AA.
Mm.
So I'm very, very grateful, thankful, and appreciative of Shane. Mr. Williman has gave me a life that I never, well, I can't say that he gave it to me because he won't take that type of credit, but the creator allowed him to show me a way out,
Mm.
and I cannot express enough gratitude, for the life that I have today. So I always got to say, I'm just so thankful that, the creator guided me to you,
Mm.
and been able to, take this journey together, and just, man, I mean, just the talks that we have today. Like, I know him on a whole nother level. You know, um, that I think only a sponsee and a sponsor could have. You know what I mean? Like, this is the type of relationship that I wish I could have with anybody and everybody that's ever asked me to sponsor them. This is my model that I see in my head. But we had such a strong connection. I don't know if it'll ever be that. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a strange thing, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know my family. I know my family is grateful. Yeah. And everybody at the 506.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all family. That's all my peoples right there at the 506. So, is there anything you would like to share? Anything you would like to say?
Just while you were talking, these lines come to me. Mostly I remember these old men that I know that God put in my life, like the language that you're using. This whole idea of God putting people in your path. You know, I'd heard those kind of words before in my life, but only in when I started this journey of recovery, sobriety, wellness, mind, body, and spirit, did I really experience it. And you know, I kind of laugh now because these old men they told me this would happen. You know, and the words that come to my mind are is that we commence shoulder to shoulder this common journey. And that's how it is. It's not one man in front of the other. it's it's never really it seems sometimes like you're teaching, but but really we're kind of experiencing together,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder, and no one in front, no one behind, um, together.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
I needed, I needed you. You were an answered prayer, uh, because when I accepted this way of life, this solution, I knew going into it that part of the deal was that I would give myself to the Creator so that He could use me as an instrument. And then by accepting that way of life, and that part of it was going to be giving, which a lot of times gets confused. Um, when you talk about giving, a lot of people start to think about the energy that it's going to take and the time that you're going to have to sacrifice, and they get caught up in the how am I going to do this thing, instead of realizing that really all of this takes place as a prayer first, that
Yeah.
an acceptance of a way of life, and knowing that I'm going to have to become this instrument. And part of that deal is I'm going to ask God, Creator, to put these people in my life so that He can use me. And it's never going to be based on like me uh, having this wisdom that I'm going to give to Barry. It's more like I'm going to open myself up to this universal wisdom, and God's going to work through me.
Definitely.
And man, that's been my experience, because I can remember sitting at my house with you and hoping that this internal feeling in my heart of, God, please help me, serve you, help me help him. And then the things that start transpiring between us, you realize in those moments, like, it's not me doing the work.
Hmm.
I just get to be a part of this. And man, that's what makes this life so special, is you get to watch these things transpire in front of you, and know that there's something greater than you at work.
Yes.
Yeah. So every chance we get to have this time together, man,
Yeah.
is special, because
Always.
the circles we used to run in, we didn't use this kind of language.
Yeah.
uh, we didn't talk about our spirit, and we didn't get vulnerable, um, but we just didn't know the value in it.
Yes, for sure.
And when you start to let those old guards down, when you stop being your own offense and your own defense, and you stop letting pride and fear drive you, and you let this humility and this vulnerability into your life, and then you start to see what's really powerful.
Yeah.
That other
Yeah.
stuff, was ridiculous.
Yeah. Kids play.
So yeah, glad to be here with you, man.
Man, thank you. See, y'all just get a little small glimpse of what I get to experience all the time. It's always, it. Not only do I get to decompress with him, but this is my brother. You know, he's my family. And I feel like I have my family because of the tools that he allowed me to incorporate into my life. He showed me the way, but the whole time he keeps telling me it's not him, it's the creator. So I mean, just learning these values, just learning these principles, it's been amazing, bro. And I just appreciate you. I really do. I honestly appreciate the effect you've had on my life. Did you want to read any comments? You see anybody?
Who do I see up there? Well, first of all, there's my sister Cassandra. Love you. Um, Man, I've been thinking about our good friend Cindy this morning.
Oh yes, we love you, Miss Cindy.
Miss Cindy, another one of those people that it's undeniable that, like, that was supposed to happen. We, you know, the timing was perfect, and I've got to spend the last 2.5 years learning a deeper sense of love from this human being.
Yes.
And thank you, God, and thank you, Cindy, for the time we've got to share. And man, I was just this reading. Did you say it's Black Elk's son?
I believe so. I believe it's his son.
Okay. Um, Wallace Black Elk, Lakota, October the 24th, out of the Fall Meditations with Native American Elders. And before I start, let me say thank you to the Cheyenne Arapaho Nation and to you personally for allowing me in. You know, it's an honor and a privilege. I don't take it lightly. Um, you use these really kind words, and it's still awkward for me to take a compliment. My sponsor just told me to nod and say thank you. Don't get weird with it. And so thank you. But I don't know who. A lot of times, like I said about that shoulder to shoulder thing, man. I don't feel like the teacher. I feel like the student. You know, I uh, I come in with this intention to be helpful, and I end up getting helped, and that's kind of the paradox of this spiritual life.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm really honored and feel privileged to have gotten to experience what you guys have allowed me to. And so Wallace Black Elk says, we create the bad among ourselves. We create it. Then we try to call it devil, Satan, or evil. But man creates it. There is no devil. Man creates the devil. And below that it says, inside of every human being are the laws and codes by which we should live. These laws and codes are communicated to us through a little voice. When we are still, this voice guides us. If we choose to live out of harmony, our lives become filled with anger, hate, selfishness, dishonesty, etc. When these things appear in our lives, we give up accountability and blame it on something or someone else. If we want to live in harmony, we need to pray our way back to living the principles the Creator gave us. Man, I so much in such a little paragraph, you know. Literally, I don't even have the power to behave or act in principle on my own. Like the big book says, we had moral and philosophical convictions galore, but we could not live up to them, even though we would have liked to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like this idea that within us is this still small voice that has never lied to us, that has always intended the best for us and everyone around us. Um, it's there, but if I don't seek the power, um, the Creator's power, through prayer and petitioning God for that power to live by those ways, um, I won't.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll come to these crossroads in life where I'll be seeing a path in front of me that uh, might seem difficult, but I'll know it's the right thing to do. And when it comes to that crucial moment to make that decision and act, if I'm not filled with that power and petitioning God for that source for that power, I'll take a left instead of a right. And I don't talk about that now like some guy that's talking about an idea I read in a book. I can plainly look back at my life and see those moments. And what used to be so confusing to me is why would I have done that knowing that what the right way was? Why would I sacrifice time? Why would I put people in jeopardy? Why would I do that to myself? And then today it's no longer a mystery. It's because lack of power has always been my dilemma. It's never been lack of resources or lack of no. I'm not a sociopath. It's not because I didn't know right from wrong. It's not because I didn't know what the consequences were. It was never a lack of education or good parenting. It didn't matter who raised me up. Inside me, I still had that still voice that would tell me, "Hey, no." Matter of fact, if we get real specific, I can remember a night, Barry, where my wife had a Christmas party on 6th Street in Austin, Texas. This is This really happened. This isn't some like, uh, you know, inspirational talk. This really happened to me. I remember before we went downtown that night to that party, um, this voice said, "You're going to jail tonight." It did. And I went, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
What you talking about? And we got down there. My wife had her little Christmas party, and by this time, alcoholism had a firm grip on me, and I knew better than to when they sat down at the party to get a beer. And I'm not, I go down to this party going, I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna be a good guy. And my wife's, I'm at her Christmas party. I'm gonna be the good husband at the Christmas party. And when I walked through the door, it switched 180 degrees. And when they started passing out free alcohol, I grabbed a beer. And about an hour later, I went to the bathroom,
Yeah.
which happened to be about 4 blocks down in an alley where they sell crack cocaine. And about 30 minutes later, I'm hemmed up on the side of a building, and they're going through my pockets, and my wife and the principal and all those teachers are walking across the street, and my wife goes, "There he is." We can laugh about this now,
Yeah.
but that was one of those nights, of that voice was telling me, "Don't go down there." Uh, and so today, what those men have taught me, what those men tried to tell me about, we talk about doing this work in recovery, and it's not the kind of work that it's very difficult work, but it's not like digging a ditch work. It's way more unnatural to people
Yes.
like you and I. This kind of work takes a person that's used to hustling, and it takes them to a place that goes completely against their nature, where you got to work to sit still, to be quiet, to listen. And that's what you and I were talking about before this
Mm-hmm.
podcast, was that, some of the hardest work I've ever done was sitting down, being still, asking God to show me the truth about myself and my situation, and listening. And the things that came to me when I was able to practice that and do that long enough are things that um, other men can't teach me. It's like getting a spiritual download from the universe, bits of truth and things that have these natural laws that they're talking about, these laws and codes, um, that you can't hustle them up. There's no shortcut. Uh, and I would have never endeavored to practice these things unless it wasn't if it wasn't for the pain and the suffering that I caused myself. And I used to blame it on other people. See,
Yes.
I used to blame it on my circumstances. If dad wouldn't have did this, and mom wouldn't have did that, if brother wouldn't have died, if all these things, these circumstances, that many people have had way worse circumstances than I, and have excelled beyond places I'll ever know, because early on they decided to listen to that pain, to take the time that it takes to develop this relationship with something that's already inside me, um, that will never lead me astray. Uh, that when I'm lonely and confused and no other human power can give me what I need, that if I'll just take the time and sit down and get quiet, it'll provide me everything that I need. And so I love this reading, man. Um, and I've had to face one of those difficulties in the present. We're not talking about something I used to deal with that, since I've gotten in recovery, never appears in my life anymore. Um, it's something that is going to continue to appear in my life, and if I'll use these tools, I can get back to center. You know, I don't have to start the proverbial snowball that's rolling downhill to hell. If I catch it and I get honest and practice this stuff, I can get back. And that was something that I never was able to do. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
They used to have to arrest my behavior, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you know, I'd have to run out of resources, and they'd put me in those chrome colored bracelets and put me in the room and be like, just like in kindergarten, sit down.
Yeah.
You need adult supervision. And so they would provide me state approved uh, adult supervision.
For free.
For free. Well,
Well, at the
there
end.
were fees,
Yeah.
and if you don't pay those fees, then you get placed in a facility
Yeah.
with a little more supervision. Anyway, I'm grateful. Um, I'm grateful for the Creator that He saw fit. Um, he saw fit for me to live and one day be able to look back at those things and use them for good.
Yeah.
Uh, God bless the families that have they've had to lose uh, their children, their loved ones to this illness, and I hope that I never take for granted that I got to be one of His children that lived through it. I don't think that any of your family members, and even mine, I lost a brother to this illness. He didn't die in vain. We all teach, and I think Creator, He uses us however He has to, and so to get to use hopefully the rest of my life as a force for good, for peace, for love and beauty. That's definitely my intention, and I think as long as I seek, you know, that He'll provide. So enough about me.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. You'll have to go back and listen to these.
Okay.
One's a war cry. But that was perfect, brother. That was perfect. Um, while you were reading, our conversations was going through my head. Then I think about me and Nats, when we talked this morning about the meditation, and one thing that keeps popping up, and she said it over and over, was the accountability. The accountability of my own actions. I remember one time my son Isaiah asked me, "Dad, do we believe in the devil?" And of course, me being the small-minded person I was at the time, like, no, that's just something white people made up. So we, but I did believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was using it in my life. You know what I mean? Like that no, that was the devil. That was when it was convenient. Never a- in a good time in my life do you think about, those bad things. But, looking back today, I can be accountable, for who I used to be today. Never back then, that word didn't even exist. But I also think about something else you taught me. And it's we're not bad people trying to be good. We're sick people trying to get well.
Yeah.
You know, uh I'm not going to lie, like I think about that all the time when I'm helping somebody else. You meet them where they're at, and whether the creator has broke them completely down or not, you know, uh, when they're looking for help, they're looking for something sturdy to start building back up on.
Right.
So working through the steps, it showed me my pattern. I get into a pattern, of how my life just had this replay over and over and over. Like I would get to this certain point and, something bad. I just always expected something bad to happen because that's what would happen. My life was just on repeat,
Yeah.
repeat, repeat, repeat. And, after doing the work, after um, realizing my pattern, after being accountable for who I was and showing myself some grace because I definitely wasn't in my right mind. Even when I was sober, I was just as sick as whenever I was using.
Mm. Oh man, maybe sicker.
Maybe sicker,
Untreated.
untreated.
Yeah.
And, to wake up this morning, say my prayer, um, I went to sweat last night, got to say, I got to pray for my nephew Shannon. I got to, my vision, which is crazy to me because it actually got better. You know what I mean? Like instantly. Like, uh, the same way that I used to blame things on the devil,
Mm.
it's like when all these good things happen now, I get to blame it on the creator.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like,
That's an interesting thing,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's crazy how you see the interconnectedness of everything, how it transpires, how it has to happen, and when it has to happen, because we're on the creator's time. I may want all these things in my life, but am I ready for these things in my life?
Right.
And to think about how sick I was, how sick my secrets were, how I was scared to do the work because I didn't know what the result was going to be, but I seen how good you were living your life, and it just made so much sense to start being accountable. And remember what I said about the truth?
Oh,
About
it's so simple, but for us, when those things occur,
it was
it's like fireworks should shoot off.
yeah, this oh moment.
The like this word demarcation came into my life. Like when one thing stops and another thing begins. Like in telecommunications, it's like when the city brings their lines to your house. Like there's a demarcation point.
Yeah,
Everything past that is your responsibility.
yeah, for sure.
And it was like there was a demarcation point in my life. Like when all of a sudden I couldn't claim ignorance anymore.
Yeah,
Like before that time, like really, it didn't matter what I blamed it on. Like I could just say
justify anything.
I didn't know the truth.
Yeah,
But then all of a sudden, when I was ready, like you said, and we talked about gifts, when you're ready,
yeah.
you know,
When you're ready.
God's not going to give it to you. Creator's not going to give it to you if you're not going to be a good steward of the gift.
Yeah,
Like it's just not that's not the way the universe works. And so but when I'm ready to receive this gift, which is usually this little it's like going to spiritual kindergarten, but like give you this one little truth to play with, you know?
yeah,
And from that moment on, I can never tell you guys I didn't know.
yeah. You have to be accountable.
Yeah. Because then there's consequences for self dishonesty.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
oh no, like you don't get to go to bed tonight with a clean conscience saying, I didn't know. No, you're going to get to suffer every moment until you
Tell
acknowledge the
you.
truth and pretend like it's not happening.
Yeah. Welcome to spiritual kindergarten. You
At
know?
that point, you realize that like the cops and the jails and like those are just material versions of consequences.
Yeah,
They're not even close to as heavy as the prison you put yourself in.
definitely.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about how honest I am with myself.
Yeah.
I said, if I'm gonna be honest with myself, I should probably tell myself the truth.
It's like there was a thunder crash
Yeah.
and two coyotes yelped. The lights flickered.
Like the simplest term, but for me to actually get it,
And I could see it happening to him. Like when they talk about the lights coming on,
yeah,
it was like I almost wanted to bow and go, "My work is done." No, you got it. That's all you need.
yeah,
That'll change your life forever.
yeah. You know, and like he was saying, you know, that accountability showed up. You know, was it how I wanted it to be? No, because I'm always gonna win. If you give me these decisions, I'm always gonna want myself to win.
Man. Yeah.
And it's these lessons where you take the loss. There, you know, that's where them lessons are. You know, and I had to lose my family.
Mhm.
You know, I had to lose my house. I had to lose everything. For me, because I'm so smart that I had to lose all of this stuff before I was willing to be accountable.
That's it. It's like you get a reset, a spiritual
A
reset.
spiritual reset.
And God goes, okay, enough.
Yeah.
Let's start from scratch. You got to be spiritually, physically, and mentally bankrupt so that you can see that all you need is me before you get anything else.
Yes. Definitely. That's the best way to put it, right?
And if you, bro, if you don't take that opportunity, the next reset is going to be worse.
Oh man. You know, just when I thought I didn't have any more to give, my addiction wanted way more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Way more than I was willing to give up, you know, because I feel like I'd already given enough. You know, I didn't have nothing else to give, you know, and could I blame the devil at that point?
I suppose you could.
I could justify it, you know, the way my mind works. I could definitely justify that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, the devil didn't grab my arm and put that needle in my arm.
No.
You know, he didn't provide the money for me to have something good to go do for my kids instead. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
like
yeah.
physically like walk me to the store to go get some
I don't wanna
vodka.
get into a debate about it, but let's just pretend like dark energy and all that exists. Some people experience it, and I don't. I would. I'm way more apt today to say it seems like than to say I know.
Yeah.
But it seems like here's what they taught me. Even if that's true, because I can tell you in the middle of addiction, it seemed like uh, it felt closer to like possession or like like I needed an exorcism than I needed the 12 because I'm doing stuff I don't agree to, and I'm thinking stuff that I didn't give my mind permission to think about. But like, here's what they taught me: even if that's true, I placed myself in that position and invited that energy in. Like at some point, like the that other book we read says, is like I had to go back through my life and understand that I'm responsible for setting the ball rolling for every negative consequence I've ever received.
Yeah.
Like, like even if if you'd have met my ex-wife, Barry, and I remember in the middle of an inventory telling my sponsor all this stuff, this sad, sad story about how she did me. And he just looked at me and, and only a way a sponsor, because nobody else on planet Earth could talk to me like this without me putting my dukes up. But he was like, well, you married her, stupid.
Yeah.
But what? you know, like I didn't know. Hey. We like you can't recover from this if you're in a position of being a victim.
Yes.
You can't. It's impossible for you to recover from alcoholism or anything in your life if you stay the victim.
Yes. Victim and tough guys don't get sober.
You just can't. And that's not like wagging your finger in somebody's face. It's like that's another spiritual law.
Yeah.
It's it's not debatable. Like it doesn't need human words to define it, but acceptance of your part is necessary for you to experience freedom.
Definitely.
You have to.
You have to.
There's no way out.
No shortcuts.
No. But if you're like me, you don't just get to like that's you don't like to virtuously go, I've discovered a universal law
Yeah.
and act on it. Like you got to get
Yeah.
look. Oh, the 10,846th time I did that to myself.
Yeah.
I understood.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
So, like,
That's all great. That's good, man. I need to come back more often, bro.
man, I enjoy this.
Um, is there anything else you would like to share about that?
No, I better shut up.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and jump into these. We got like a whole production now, like
Oh,
producer.
you gotta. How do the kids say it? You gotta give props.
Oh yeah. We got to pay some bills.
Oh,
No,
you
I'm
gotta
just
pay
kidding.
some
No, go to yeah. Okay, Talkspace.
Ah,
www.talkspace.com/CHATOR. It is free online counseling and therapy. You can match with the therapist in minutes. It covers a range of topics. We still got a lot of spots we need to fill up, and it is for free. So from ages 13 and up, you can message. You can just text message your therapist, and you get 2 video chats a month. So take advantage. We can't see who gets on there, but it's definitely a resource that needs to be used more often. I see a lot of. I've heard nothing but great things about Talkspace. Uh, you should check it out too, bro.
okay,
I mean, it's. I've heard nothing but great things. So,
bro. I still need help. Oh,
me too.
October 24th, 2024. What time is it?
12:56.
Still sick.
Still sick.
A lot of work to do.
Okay, the boo bags. Unfortunately, with the boo bags, we're not able to ship Narcan at a state anymore, which is, man, is it? It comes from our higher ups. We have to follow. There's some harm reduction supplies that we're not able to ship out of state either, which we don't kind of understand. But there's different laws on how people can get Narcan, and it's crazy because it's sold over the counter. But I don't know. We'll keep fighting for a way to send this to people that really need it. But for the time being, we can just mail Narcan in Oklahoma. So sorry. The last thing I would hate to think is that somebody's life has been affected by not being able to receive the life-saving Narcan. But we got our boo bag. Scan the QR code up there, and we will mail these products to you for free. And then text TOR TOR to 888-580-4867 for TOR 888-580-4TOUR. That gives you all our updates with the Gourd Clan, with the meetings, with everything that we do as either a Gourd Clan or as Tour. It gives you updates on what we're doing for the day, and shout out to Brand Logics. And then every Tuesday, the reader, I mean the white man, husband and wife, they do a Zumba here every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock here at 1950 South Shepherd here in El Reno. And then Mr. White Man, our very own Domingo, he does yoga after it's over with, from 7 to 7:30. So they do a great job, man. They're really active. They're really active people. They both dance. They try to get their kids involved, and it's just a great thing to see. So shout out to the white mans. And then
Not this white man. You see me moving that fast. You should move that fast.
It's got to be quicker than them.
I call it yogurt.
Yeah.
Get some yogurt.
Well, tomorrow, October 25th, in Hammond Community, at the ERC from 3 to 6. Pathways to Community Living is having a meal will be provided. They're inviting all the elders and caregivers to come out, and they'll have some activities. They'll have, I think you can, they would just want the elders to get together and just share a meal and maybe pass on some knowledge. I don't know if we'll be able to go. Darian's taking a day off. Domingo has his wedding. What is it? Reception? Reception. And Carmelo is, yeah, he'll be busy Saturday. So yeah, we have to dance. Well, so Saturday the 26th in Watanga at the Watanga ERC, we are the host Gourd Clan. The All Nations Res Covery Gourd Clan will be on head staff at Watanga for the Shine Arapaho Labor Day committee. They were just honored that we were, thought of in that way. And, any chance we get, we're always going to try to show up. So that'll be Saturday. And then it starts Saturday, but it'll be a 2-day powwow, Saturday and Sunday. The Starhawk Society powwow will be the 26th and 27th. I believe we're going on the 27th, but it'll be at the Concho Respect Gym. So if you can't make it to Watanga, go and support our Starhawk Society. I mean, they're very supportive of what we do over here. So, we got to show the love back to our brothers over there, And then November 2nd at the Clinton ERC, the Culture is the Solution benefit dance, where we are, All Nations Res Covery Gourd Clan is having our benefit dance. We plan on having some, we got a 58-inch TV. We got some cedar boxes that, are going out for raffle. A hand drum, just different items. Of course, you're going to have your giveaways. Your baskets, your grocery baskets or whatnot. But, come and check us out. We always have a great turnout, which we really appreciate, how the community shows up and shows out at all of our events. And then November 9th, they're having a memorial benefit dance for Tony Pawnee in Clinton on the 9th. So, these are all back to back weekends. You ain't got nothing to do, go show support for the family. And then my rugged auntie Corinne. What date is that? November 13th at the Concho ERC from 6:30 to 8, 6 to 8:30. Okay, they're having a dance class. If you, your grandkids, nieces, nephews, somebody that is interested, or even if you're interested on how to get involved in the dance scene. I mean, how, whether you need regalia, whether you want to learn a style, uh, I think it's a great idea what she's doing to try to bring more people to the circle. Because, like we always say, the culture is the solution. If you want to get involved, if you're just curious, they usually provide a meal. And, like I said, I can't say how much that means to our community to know that, somebody's just doing this out of the goodness of their heart because that's what they love to do. And then November 23rd in Weatherford, the JOM, uh, Weatherford JOM is having a youth powwow at the Weatherford Middle School in Weatherford, Oklahoma, November 23rd. Our very own DOH's Terry Lindsay is the honored educator, which Terry works for Tradition Not Addiction. He goes in and he spends a lot of time with our children, and he's very passionate about it. And, we're going to show up and show out for Mr. Lindsay. So, big shout out to Mr. Lindsay. Then December 7th in Geary in G Town. G Town. It's called Circle of Giving. We're asking head staff to not bring giveaways, but to bring toys. The motivation behind this is to recognize the children who have been affected by addiction. Trying to let them know that they are still thought of. We still care about them. And, if anything, I was one of those kids. So I think it's a great idea. If you would like to take part or donate, bring a $10 toy, any age group, and we will give you raffle tickets for a TV, gourd box or cedar boxes, and we'll have a few other items that'll be donated to us. So, I think it's a great idea. So that'll be December 7th in G Town. And then this is the form for nominations of the kids, who have been affected by addiction. We don't, if it's a kid that you just want to have a Christmas present, that's different. We just ask that people be thoughtful of those that are going without. You know, that's the most important thing about this is that we're trying to think of the kids that are going without. Whether they're regardless of what their parents' situation is. We don't want them to feel left out. So, and then Mending Mondays are on Monday nights here at 1950 South Shepherd at 7 o'clock here in El Reno. Then Tuesdays they have a talking circle at 721 Frisco Avenue in Clinton at 7. And then Thursday, like tonight, we have our talking circle here at 1950 South Shepherd at 7 o'clock. And then Friday nights is the 12-step meeting, which gets a little bit more in depth to the Wellbriety book and a little bit more action. So that all these meetings start at 7 o'clock. That's it. That's good.
That's good.
Well, would you like to shout anybody out? Say
could I not shout out my loving wife? Yeah, my mother. Those two strong women wouldn't have stayed by my side in the darkest of times. I wouldn't be sitting on this couch with
Yeah.
you today. Jeannie Williman does a lot of good in this community,
She does.
and God bless her heart. She puts up with me, and look, this program asks for self-sacrifice. I think she's paid up.
Yeah.
I don't know. No. Yeah, Cindy Sheffel, God bless your heart.
Yes.
Cindy, your
Miss
daughter.
Sheffel.
Yeah, the Sheffel.
Love you, Lindy.
We are having I don't know if this goes against anything, but the Barker Street El Reno AA's 78th anniversary is this weekend. We're going to have speakers and food and fun all day Saturday, starting at about 10 a.m. And then we'll end with a speaker, I think, at 7. And then Sunday at our normal eat and speak time at around 7 o'clock, we'll kind of finish up the weekend with a little leftovers meal and a speaker. And so there's going to be face painting. They're going to play some cornhole, maybe some horseshoes, maybe some Jeopardy and some inside stuff. But please come and join us. And this thing, man, we do it for fun and for free.
Yeah.
You know, it's you got to come. Look, it's got to get bad enough that you come in here and sit down and do all of it. And if you do all of it, it'll get good enough that you'll want to stay.
Definitely.
And so
great group of people over there.
good group of people and a lot of people with intentions to be helpful. So there's that. And just for today, living some principles. And if you're like me, you got to get it taught to you in language that you understand. And so they just told me, Shane, just for today, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't harm anything. And that includes yourself. And if you do that, you might be able to get a good night's rest.
Great. That was great. So yeah, 506 South Barker here in El Reno, like he said, 78th anniversary. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I've been going to that clubhouse since I was about, probably about 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years ago, it's probably when I walked through those doors with my dad.
I think it's the second oldest AA club.
Yeah, second oldest AA club in Oklahoma.
1935, the AA movement started. So 24. Yeah, it's been around a long time.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people.
So that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm gonna have to come over there.
Yeah. Bring that cake you make, bro.
I know, right? I ain't got a chance to make that in a while. That'd be great.
And bring some insulin with
you. Always on tap. Always on tap.
Anyway.
Well, we appreciate everybody that was able to tune in with this lunch hour. We'll try to get it in a little bit earlier tomorrow. As always, like, share, follow, and I hope.
Stop!